Hey there, YouTube friends, maskedbandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it, and welcome to the final build episode of Planet Zoo. The beta has come to a close. It is actually the day of. It is Tuesday here, the 8th, and the beta closes in about an hour. Got some things I gotta do though, so I won't be able to play anymore, but we have quite a big episode to send us off today. We built ourselves an indoor enclosure, and not just an indoor enclosure, a massive 3-animal, 3-exhibit dome. We're gonna call it a dome. Here I've included a whole bunch of my failed attempts. A whole bunch of failed dome attempts. This was insane. It's really hard to build one of these. And mine ends up not being a dome really quick. Shout out to all the people who can do this and the amount of time it took. Oh my god, I had to restart several times. Several times. I've been sharing progress of this on Twitter and on Facebook, so if you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and do that, because I like to post screenshots on Twitter before episodes come out. So if you want more of my content, then follow me on Twitter, maskedbandit, at maskedbandit102. This was a slog and a half. It took me the better portion of 2 days, and hours each day. But, like I said, worth it. Pardon me. So, where do we go from here? Well, the zoo beta is over. So what I'm going to end up doing is I have recorded a whole bunch of cinematics. I'll see if I can't stitch something together to create a small little video, a final send-off, a final Planet Zoo cinematic video. And that'll be it for about a month as far as Planet Zoo goes. Now I'm going to jump right back into Planet Coaster. I've got some things I've got planned. I've got projects I got to do. I had a whole bunch of people build me stuff for Summerdale. So I need to get back to that, because that would be awful, make people build some stuff for me and then never show it off. So don't worry if you were a little concerned about that. Don't worry, Summerdale will be back. I'm going to jump in there right after recording this, actually. So there's going to be plenty of content coming your way. So if you found me just for Planet Zoo, I want to give a big, huge thank you to you. I've seen my subscribers grow by almost 1,000 people during this beta, which for someone who has 11,000 subscribers, that's massive. That was a huge number for me. So I'm super pleased with that, and thank you so much for watching the content and sharing and commenting. And I encourage you to stick around and watch some other things, even if it's not necessarily your jam, because it's the same vibe for all my content. So yeah, we'll be doing Planet Coaster, and then once Zoo drops, once the full game drops, we'll be jumping right into Sandbox, and we'll be doing a project. We'll be quote remaking the zoo from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but I don't remember it at all. So it'll just be my own single project before we jump into projects with Mike and with John T. We'll be doing two joint projects. We'll be doing Bro Coaster Season Zoo. Me and Mike will, and you're gonna want to watch that. That's gonna be great. You're gonna really enjoy that. And then with John T, once we get our feet firmly on the ground, we'll be doing Azuri Gardens for Planet Zoo, which should be really cool. Speaking of that, also going to be this next month working on Azuri Gardens, which, if you don't know, is a Planet Coaster series where John T and I are building a zoo. So I encourage you to check that out. I will have a link at the end to that series, so you can start binging that before the next episode comes out. So I know this is a very pluggy, heavy episode, but I want to let people know that I am still going to be making the content, even though the zoo beta is done. Working on started to sort of work on the interior of the dome before I knew where the dome was going to go, and so that made it really difficult. So what I ended up having to do is I had to go ahead and make the exhibits first. I had to stop working on the dome and make the exhibits before I knew what to do with it. So wow, there's a lot of stuttering there. That was a huge learning curve to get this done. It's still not where it needs to be. If you look real close, it's pretty jank. It's pretty janky, and there's lots of unfinishedness, but I wanted to get a pretty much completed. I mean, it's missing some of the finer details. It looks pretty cool, but it's missing some of the finer details. But what are you going to do, you know? You only got so much time. If I had plenty of time, I would have spent several more hours working on it and perfecting it. But I wanted to have it completed for you guys before the beta finished. So used a lot of terrain here, and the idea is obviously this would not be real terrain. This would be like steel wires and plaster, and I don't know how they, like in theme parks they make the fake mountains and stuff. That's what this would be. And then we're working on an actual dome for our. The last thing we had to do was our wolves, and it was hard because I was domed out by this point, and I did this technique here, and it works. It creates a really nice semicircle. Or it creates a sphere, but it's so piece heavy. It's like over 500 pieces of glass, and you'll notice like they're nested onto each other pretty heavily, so much so that the dome with the wolves is actually significantly lighter. But anyway, it looks much better in real time. Let's take a look in real time at Taiga Expedition. So here we are in the zoo. For probably the last time. It's a little sad. It's a little bittersweet. Here is the Taiga experience. Here's that big dome. It's really piece heavy. And it overlaps itself so much that it actually, a lot of light is kind of stuck. It's really dark in there. I'll show you. But you can see, look at that. You can see the people in there. That's pretty cool. And if you just take a look, you can see some of the pine trees that are in there. It's really cool. Let's head in. And so we go through the doors, and there would be like 2 sets of doors, obviously. I wasn't able to get it all dressed up from the front, but we have 2 sets of doors, and obviously because this would be climate controlled, and so you walk in into the Taiga dome. Into the Taiga experience. And right off the bat, we have our grizzly bear. Let's see if these people can get out of the way for us. We can take a look at him. There he is in all his splendor. There's his butt, big bear butt. He has all kinds of things to keep him busy in here. He's got the meat bag, he's got a box, there's a ball in here, there's a rubbing thing, there's the food thing over there. He's got everything a bear could want, plus a waterfall. Ooh. Oh, look at that waterfall. And the hardest thing was being in this biome. We don't have dark colored rock. The rock is all this orange color, which doesn't really fit, and I wasn't about to go and do custom rocks all across because that would have taken almost as long as the actual dome itself did. Which, don't look too close at it, it's pretty jank, but while you're looking at the animals, I think it looks really good. That's the thing, like I could have spent twice the amount of time on it and gotten it better, but then you wouldn't have had a video for it. So, sacrifices have to be made, I guess. So we've got our level 4, I guess, whatever that means, level 4 education board here. It's pretty cool. And I just this view from back here. I think it looks great. And we've got the tree here. Look at that, the way the sun comes through the roof. So pretty. And don't worry, we'll look at the individual habitats in just a second. We have our snow leopard. We don't have as much research on him yet. Or her. I think it's a her. No, it's maybe him. I don't know. Where is he? He likes to hide. The thing about this animal is they get stressed really easily. This is the first animal I've had that has to have some hiding places because they get stressed. And I don't know where he's at. He's probably hiding in the cave. He's probably asleep in his cave somewhere. But this is a really cool habitat. He can traverse all of this. He can go like all the way up there where the lights are. And are they banging on the window? That's kind of rude. And they can go up there. It can go up there. I'll show you. It's really cool. One of my favorite parts is that wire fencing right there. Oh, is this glass cracked? Ooh, the glass is cracked. Needs to be repaired. But you can see that there's a fence there that separates some netting that separates the 2 habitats. I think that's pretty cool. And then you can go up to Timber Wolf Trail here. It's kind of like Warthog Way, I suppose. Get out of our way, friends. And you can immediately see how the vibe has changed here, how much darker it is in here because of all those panels that are nested together. Like, very little light is coming through up there. I should probably, if I were going to be smart about it, I could do this. We could do this and at least open up the light in the middle here. There. Okay, so it's open in the middle. There. That's better. And now we take a look. This is very similar to what we had going on with our warthogs here. So let me see if we can. You get the little pond down there. And sometimes it's kind of hard to see them. They like to hide under here. They like to hide under the path, and sometimes it's hard to see with the trees and stuff. There's one. There he is. I think that's a pretty cool view from up top. Get your look at the wolves. And then one of my favorite views is actually right here through this arch. Look at this. Love this. Love it. Love the way this turned out. So happy with how this turned out. Like, this is cool. This rock work is what I wanted to do all over. I ran out of time. And I wanted to have this more or less complete to show off for you today, but just, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Never mind the trash. I gotta get a handyman in here, so boop boop. There we are. And so, there you go. That's the Taiga expedition. Some people were expecting tigers. I don't have tigers. I wanted to, but I already had the wolves and the snow leopard in my trade center, and I wanted to get them in the actual zoo. So I would do a separate like temple build for tigers if there was more time. So in the future, though, we'll definitely do that. Now I gotta wait about a month before we can do that. One of the things I enjoy are the views of the habitat, like from other parts of the zoo. Like, so when you're in here at the warthogs, I mean, it's massive. I love it. My warthogs disappeared, so I bought like 3 new ones, and now they're hanging out in there. And we got the mud over here for them too. Now we unlocked that. So there, look at that. I like it. And even if we come back down, walk through the zoo. Walk through the zoo. We never did do the porta potties. Never did do the potties, did we? Don't look at them. Hey, what are you doing? Stop it. From here, you could. I love that you could see the dome. Grab your snack. It's like, where are we gonna go? Let's go to the dome. All right, we'll go to the dome. The dome. Love the dome. I think it's turned out really well. I was really apprehensive. It took a really long time, but overall, I think it fits nicely, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge. But these zoos, a lot of these fancy zoo enclosures are pretty big. Like, I know Beyond Drew built a huge tropical house based off of Tropic World in Brookfield Zoo, and that was one of the first indoor enclosures of its kind ever built. And it's huge. It's just massive. And since then, they've added even more indoor exhibits. I think they have like pyramids. Is it a geodesic pyramid? They've added giant pyramids. So I think the thing about this compared to Planet Coaster is theme park architecture in and of itself is so unique that skill set isn't necessarily going to translate as easily or as seamlessly into this, because I think these structures are naturally going to be bigger, and I think that's going to make your zoo look better rather than trying to stick to the tiny scale. Now, things like shops and stuff, the scale is going to be the same as theme parks, because that's just what they are. But these massive enclosures, I mean, first of all, they're going to need to be big just to fit the trees in them. There were so many trees that I could not fit in here. So many trees that I could not fit in. Let's go back in. But, I mean, when you think about it, you don't want it to feel claustrophobic. Like the dome that the wolf dome. Here, let's get out a Tegid cam. The wolf dome is a little claustrophobic-y. Let's take a look at the enclosures. Here's a better look at our bear enclosure. Got some fallen logs. You know, all the good stuff. But I wanted it to look open and airy, and I know it's probably not structurally sound. I'm not an architect. I have no idea. I don't know if this could actually work or not. I'm going to guess no. And again, if you look too hard, you start seeing ugly seams and stuff. But, you know, like, this is so cool, though. Like, look at the bear. I'm a bear. Just really love it. I'm really happy with this. Oh, the snow leopard exhibit's really... There he is! Hello, Mr. Snow Leopard. I hope you're a mister. You might be a miss. Let's see. Don't jump out. Cat jumping is weird. It is a he. Yay, it's Tabin. Taban? I think it's Tabin. We're going to go with Tabin. Tabin the Snow Leopard. He's napping. That's cool. It's a cool little animal, but look, it can go all the way up here if it wants. Put some toys up here for it. It can even come over here and hang out like directly above the bear. I think that's kind of neat. And if it's really feeling feisty, it can jump and scamper up here, and it can climb all the way up here. and get a look. So that's pretty cool. Like the jumping mechanics in this are ridiculously dumb. It looks so silly when the animal jumps around. Just absolutely dumb. And here's a better look at our wolf exhibit. I left this big ball. There's random meat on the ground. Why aren't they filling the trough? Whatever. So, oh, there's the ball. We're on a hill. Threw some light hills in. Like from the ground, I think the wolves look way better than up, actually from the viewing platform. We have 4, and they're all friendly. Oh, no, are they going to fight? Oh, no, they're going to fight. That one's got some scratches on it. They're not happy. Fighting for dominance, they do that. That'll happen. But, yeah, so there you go. Here is our... oh, underwater. Here is our wolf dome. The wolf dome! So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like this as much as I do. I'm really happy. I'm really proud. It was kind of a labor of love here. I wanted to get it done. I wanted to show something. I wanted to show different levels of things. Like, I wanted to show some really basic, less refined, old school habitats. And then I wanted to show a mid-range, like with our warthogs. And I wanted to show something a bit over the top here. Actually, this snow leopard could use more space. This is pretty, apparently this is too small for it, but I love the way the glass, I had to raise these glass walls so high so it couldn't jump out. But anyway, that's just about going to do it for us here. So if you enjoyed, please do hit the like button. Consider subscribing. I know Planet Zoo is done now, but there's lots of Planet Coaster on the channel, and we'll be back with Planet Zoo as soon as it drops. So don't go anywhere. And as always, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever. And I will see all of you for the next episode of Planet Zoo. I'll talk to you later, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.